The hidden alliances of nature, understanding symbiotic relationships. In the natural world, survival is rarely a solitary effort. While we often imagine evolution as a fierce competition between species, nature also thrives on cooperation. From microscopic bacteria to massive forest ecosystems, countless organisms depend on one another in intricate partnerships known as symbiotic relationships. These relationships reveal a powerful truth about life on Earth. Sometimes the key to survival is not competition, but collaboration. The term symbiosis comes from the Greek word syn, together, and bios, life, meaning living together. In biology, it refers to a close and long-term interaction between two different species. These interactions can take several forms, depending on how the organisms involved benefit, or sometimes suffer, from the relationship. Scientists typically classify symbiotic relationships into three main categories: mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. Perhaps the most fascinating type is mutualism, a relationship in which both organisms benefit. One of the most famous examples occurs between bees and flowering plants. When a bee visits a flower to collect nectar, it unknowingly carries pollen from one plant to another, enabling fertilization and reproduction. The plant gains a pollination service, while the bee receives food. It is a perfect exchange, an elegant evolutionary partnership that has shaped ecosystems for millions of years. Another remarkable mutualistic relationship exists deep within our own bodies. The human digestive system is home to trillions of bacteria, collectively known as the gut microbiome. These microscopic organisms help break down food, produce certain vitamins, and support our immune system. In return, the human body provides them with a warm environment and a steady supply of nutrients. Without these bacterial partners, many essential digestive processes would be far less efficient. Not all symbiotic relationships are equally balanced. In commensalism, one species benefits while the other is neither helped nor harmed. A classic example can be found in the ocean with barnacles and whales. Barnacles attach themselves to the skin of whales, gaining a free ride through nutrient-rich waters where they can feed on plankton. The whale, meanwhile, is largely unaffected by the presence of its tiny passengers. Birds also engage in similar relationships. In African savannas, certain birds follow large grazing animals such as zebras or buffalo. As these animals move through grasslands, they disturb insects that the birds quickly catch and eat. The birds gain an easy meal, while the grazing animals typically experience no significant impact. The third type of symbiosis, parasitism, is perhaps the most unsettling. In this relationship, one organism benefits at the expense of another. Parasites live on or inside a host organism, drawing nutrients from it while often causing harm. Ticks feeding on mammals, tapeworms living in animal intestines, and certain fungi infecting plants are all examples of parasitic relationships. Although parasitism may seem purely destructive, it also plays an important role in shaping ecosystems and evolutionary processes. Parasites exert pressure on host species, encouraging the development of stronger immune systems and adaptive defenses. In this way, parasitism contributes to the ongoing evolutionary arms race that drives biological diversity. Some of the most extraordinary symbiotic relationships occur in extreme environments. Coral reefs, for instance, depend on a delicate partnership between coral animals and microscopic algae called zooxanthellae. These algae live inside coral tissues and perform photosynthesis, producing nutrients that feed the coral. In return, the coral provides protection and access to sunlight. This partnership allows coral reefs, often described as the rainforests of the sea, to flourish in nutrient-poor tropical waters. However, this relationship is also fragile. When ocean temperatures rise due to climate change, corals may expel their algae partners in a process known as coral bleaching. Without the algae, the coral loses its primary food source and may eventually die, threatening entire reef ecosystems. Symbiotic relationships also shape life on land. In forests, fungi form networks around the roots of trees in partnerships known as mycorrhizae. The fungi help trees absorb water and minerals from the soil, while the trees supply sugars produced through photosynthesis. These underground networks connect multiple plants, creating what some scientists call the wood wide web, a vast communication system through which nutrients and chemical signals travel. When we begin to notice these relationships, a remarkable pattern emerges. Life on Earth is not simply a collection of individual organisms competing for resources. Instead, it is a complex web of partnerships, alliances, and interactions. Every ecosystem, from coral reefs to tropical forests to the human body, is shaped by these invisible collaborations. Symbiosis reminds us that cooperation is one of nature's most powerful strategies. In a world often described as survival of the fittest, it turns out that survival often depends on something equally important: the ability to live together.